Hello and welcome to Doodle Club, the alternative art school with me, Cate Field. Artist, teacher, writer, speaker, passionate about helping you find your creative spirit and then developing it a little bit further. I hope you are well. Welcome if you are new. In today's tutorial, we're going to be doing some collage animals. I've just started to put a few in my sketchbook. These are really easy to do. They're great fun to do with children, and I know that a lot of you do work with your children and your grandchildren, which is just lovely. You're not going to need very much at all. So I'm going to get all of the bits and pieces together and we'll get going. So here we are, my quirky little animals. We're going to be using old bits of paper, bits of old maps, bits of magazines, bits of collage where I was doing some experiments, an old book that was water damaged and going to be thrown away. We're going to be using all of those sorts of things. And we're going to start off by sticking a whole load of them onto just a piece of scrap paper. So it's going to be very much using up odds and ends, and then I'm going to be using a glue stick. You use whatever you have. And the lovely thing about these is that you can develop their personalities. I'm just going to use an acrylic pen just to give them some little faces. So let's start with preparing the paper and making our first sheet. I really love doing this sort of art because we can just use up all sorts of bits that we've been putting into one side. Well, the sort of thing that I do as well. Just I just kind of get all pieces that I think that I might be using. So I've got a whole stash. The thing with using magazines is to try not to get distracted by really interesting things like this beetroot terrine recipe. Don't get distracted by that. Note to self. And you can just use scraps. So I'm just using a scrap of paper. This was my 6 prompts for art journaling that I printed out, and it didn't print out properly at all. I don't throw it away. I'm going to use it as my base. I've got a whole load of pieces here, and I'm going to just tear them. Now you could cut them. I am going to do one where I'm going to cut them with scissors so you can see the difference. But this is an old map that was going to be thrown away because it was damaged. I really liked it because I love the patterns on maps. So I've got a few of these. I'm going to stick to quite bright colours for this one. The sun has come out. It is proper spring here in Dorset in southwest England. And it's just lovely. I always like a weather update. Those of you who have been following me for some time know that I really do like a weather update. So tell me where you are and what the weather's doing. And I really do hope you are well. Thank you for all your lovely comments. I really do appreciate all of you. It's just lovely. There we go. And if you haven't joined the Facebook group and that's something that you think you might like to do, you'll be very, very welcome. But please answer the questions and agree to the group rules. I've had to decline a few requests recently because people haven't done that. It's very important just to make sure that you are a real person, which of course you are. So obviously, really easy. We're just going to stick these on to the page. I've got my scrap of paper here for the glue. I'm just using an ordinary glue stick. So I'm going to pop those all to one side and we're going to start. It doesn't matter how you do this. I like to start in the middle and work out, but you don't have to do that. I'm just going to pop these on, and you just put them on without thinking about it too much. Once you've got all the colours that you want, then you'll know that all the colours are going to work together anyway. So you don't have to worry too much about putting them on. Oh, let's do that side. So yes, a bit of scrap paper, making sure that the glue goes right to the edges. That's really important because we are going to be cutting up this page. Again, you don't have to use a glue stick. You could use white glue, Elmer's glue. You could use double-sided tape, whatever you want to do. Again, I've got these scraps of paper that I keep exactly for this purpose. And then I'm just going to carry on. So I'm going to cover the whole page, and I'm actually going to create 2 of these. So I will have 2 sheets. So I have 2 of these where I've torn out the shapes, that one and that one. And then this one is going to be cut shape. So I'm just using the scissors. Just gives a different sort of effect. And I just want to show you that because that might be something that you might like to do as well. So with the cut pieces, some of them I've cut into, let me show you here, I've just cut them into sort of long rectangle strips. Pop that on like that again, just sticking them on. Again, I wanted to choose quite bright colours. Got a little bit distracted by this one. It was a beautiful mountain holiday being advertised. I thought, oh, that looks nice. And then others is I've just done kind of slanted bits as well, just to put those on there. I do like collage. I teach collage a lot in my art classes. It's a very good way to learn about colour theory and composition. And it's and also kind of thinking about what colour combinations do you personally like? Because I think that when we start working with colour combinations that make us happy, then we become a little bit more creative, I think. We're enjoying the process so much. So again, straight lines, more clear edges rather than like this one where you've got the torn one. So it's not that one is better than the other, it's whatever effect you want. The other thing that you can do with collage is you could just use monotone, just use one colour. You could use just black and white text. That can be very, very effective. I've done quite a lot with old sheet music, things like that. I've got an old directory, again with some really nice text. But this one, I think I need bright colours. It's that mountain one again. Do like that one. Oh my goodness, it's just so lovely having spring arriving. All the flowers are out. It's just beautiful. So beautiful. There we go. I'm just going to pop that one on there. And then what we're going to do with these sheets, just fill that, is we're going to cut out shapes. Let's just go back to my sketchbook, and you can see that the hair, we've just got this kind of half egg shape, then a kind of circle, and then these for ears with my tortoise. Again, we've got this half egg shape and another circle. And then with my little goose, just the kind of loop here. And then with my quirky little birds, just these shapes, and then with tails and wings. And I'm going to show you just how I do these. You will find your own way, I am sure. I'm going to do a tortoise first of all. It's going to go into my sketchbook. So I'm going to take my sheet. I'm going to turn it over. This is just the back of my sheet. It's my old printout that didn't work very well. And I'm going to get my Sharpie pen, and I'm just going to do a shape like this that I'm going to cut out. I'm going to do a circle-ish, not a great circle there, and I'm just going to do another hair. Let's kind of just do that kind of shape. So the idea is that you're going to cut your shapes out, and the reason we're doing it on the back is that we can get very distracted by this side, and I don't think it works very well, but you find your own way. Then I'm going to do some other kind of little birds with this sort of shape. Again, I'm just playing with an idea. Let's just do kind of a more of a round shape and see what that might turn into. be another creature, and we can just turn these into other things, as I will show you. I'm just using up all of this space. I don't know what that is. It looks kind of weird. That's fine. It can be weird. We're allowed sometimes to be weird. And all I'm going to do now is cut all of these out. So I've cut out some of these shapes. This one is going to be my little tortoise. The head there. Just sort of turn it round, see kind of what happens. It's quite cracky, isn't it? And this is what we do. We just start to put these things together. And this one is going to be my hair. Oh no, I've lost an ear. There we go. That's going to be part of, I might do that on another page. But you can see that these shapes are going to form the creatures. And one of the things that I have done with some of my younger students is we've created fantasy creatures and sort of monsters and things like that. And that's really good fun. I think I might just put that head behind the shell. Oops, forgot to do that. So just popping that in there. And then what we can do is start to give our, oops, close there, our little tortoise. Let's give her an eye. Just going to pop the black, just a Sharpie pen like that. And then I've got white like that. And then when that's dry, I'll put another dot there. But I think for her feet, let's give her orange legs and feet. And we're just sort of building up our little tortoise, which is quite fun. There, and a little tail. And you can make these as detailed as you like. Let's just do a little bird here, like a bit like this one. So I've got this shape here. Just going to pop that on. Now, whichever way round you want this to go, you can then put a tail. So I'm going to pop a tail. So that's just this sort of shape. And again, I'm just going to lift that up a little bit. But you can just play around with these. And then what I do with the children is that we start to make up stories about our characters, which is what I've done in the past. If you've watched my robots one or my monsters and aliens. So we're going to have little tufty bits up here, which are quite fun. And let's have some legs here. Oh, just pop that on there let's give this one an orange beak. Oh, that's run out. This is what happens a lot. Let's just do that there. Little beak there. Eye in black. And then I need a wing. Now you could just use, or I could just use this bit of old map, or you can use your collage. Again, might just tear that because that's quite, makes it quite a nice edge. And then the wing can just go on there like that. Or you could use your marker pen and put the wing. So, you know, these little characters are coming together. I think they're great fun. And we can then, you know, put some more details in with a fine liner pen or another marker pen, something like that. And obviously you can put backgrounds and those sorts of things. So it's got these ones. I'm going to do a couple more. I definitely want to do another hare, I think, and another goose. So I've cut out a few more from both the cut pieces and the torn pieces. This one is going to be my little goose here. And I just love this idea because you can just let your imagination go a little bit crazy. And like I said, you could have fantasy creatures, all sorts, a whole menagerie. And then you can start to kind of build little stories about them. So with my hair, I'm going to stick the ears down first. Let's just do that. I have actually seen two hares in the field opposite me. I live in the countryside and have a field opposite my house. I'm actually look at it now out of the window, and sometimes the field has sheep in it, but the sheep have gone for the moment. And last night I saw two hares, just amazing, absolutely beautiful. Quite often get a lot of rabbits. Just put that one there. But it was very lovely to see the hares. And the other day we had deer, herd of 3 young deer who we do see deer at the top of the hill, but not usually on the farmer's field. So again, I'm just putting that one in there. So you can see what I'm doing here. I've cut out some other things that could be used as tails, perhaps. Well, that one's quite a fun one, like that. I'm going to do the rest of these and then we will finish them off. Well, I've stuck these shapes on, so now we're going to create our little faces because this is the fun bit, when they start to develop little characters of their own. Let me just move that one here. So I've got my little bird up here. Let's just pop that one. And this one's going to have a little blue beak. Again, this is the lovely thing about these characters, is that you can make them whatever you want and you can add bits. And so this one needs a little wing, actually, I think. Let's just pop that wing on there. You can make them as simple or as complicated as you like. Let's just pop that. And then I have got my owl. I do love owls. Absolutely love owls. So we're going to do our owl like this. And I think what we're going to need is the white. Oh, again, you just got to pop the. This is just a white acrylic pen. I will put a list of the things that I use in the description. There we go. I'll leave that to dry, and let's do some legs here as well. Just they're just fun, aren't they? They're just so I've got that one, and I've got this little bird here. Let's have some purple, I think. Oh, that needs some little legs like that. And let's have eyes coming this way. And a beak there. And you could draw in the wings if you want to. And they could have all sorts of kind of crazy expressions just as you develop the characters. Right, let's come over this way. I've got my little goose. And again, it says as soon as you put the eyes and the beak in, then it all starts, the character starts to come together, doesn't it? And it's just such good fun. Well, this one's having a little bit of a dance, I think. This one, again, we'll have little things at the top, beak, and perhaps some different colours. Let's have some pink. Get this one going. And you can add your own little doodles. And it just all starts to come together. Now this one was going to be a chick, but I'm just thinking it does actually look like a fish. So fish or a chick, doesn't matter. You can just turn it into whatever you want. Let's turn it into a chick. We'll still have it because we're still on kind of. I'm still doing lots of Easter things. Let me just do a little there. We can have a little chick coming along there, and again you could put in wings. This one, I can't remember what I was going to do with this one. Let's think. Oh, I'm thinking another little fat chick actually. Let's have eye going here, and then the beak coming up that way, legs down here. How cute is that? And then I've got loads of bits here. I could have a wing. Let's just trim that one up a little bit, make it a bit smaller, and have a wing there. Let's just put a bit of glue on that bit. Like that. Let's go back to owl. Let's move that like that. Let's see if that is dry. Yeah, that's... Oh, not quite dry. That's all right. We can do that, can't we? And you can just do your own thing, because I think that will all be fun. Decorate these, add bits to them, create lovely stories. Let's just bring that up here. These are in my sketchbook, so they're just going to give me some ideas. Let's go back to the other ones. Slightly different. So if you have more, when you're creating your collage sheets, if things are closer together, you're going to get a different type of effect. Let's just move that one back over there. Where's my little owl gone? Oh, I do like an owl.
Well, I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, you might want to do that. And if you'd like to join the Facebook group, the link is below. And if you want to see some more, you could look at this one and this one. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.